Hey everybody, now welcome back to another exciting episode of Horror Film Fridays, First Time Watch Friday. Yes. Hold on a second. Let's take that back. That'll be an outtake. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of First Time Watch Fridays here on Horror Film Lovers. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I've got my awesome special guest for the night, John Ward. How you doing, John?
I'm fine, but I don't feel awesome
Why don't you feel awesome?
because you made me watch this movie.
You know what? I didn't know what I like. It's one of those things you just never know what you're gonna get. It's like a
I'm I'm I'm
chocolate.
gonna tell you, I hated this film. I absolutely hated it. I thought of I I was going to stop it and about
Tell me
almost an
that you were
hour
gonna do it.
through. And I was just gonna message you, just like, dude, I don't want to do this. This is just so awful. And it's 94 minutes, but it feels like 10 hours and nothing happens. And when something does happen, nothing still happens. And I hated this movie. And before it, I had watched two other British films. I'd watched that Dinosaur Hotel and Dinosaur Hotel The Next Level. And I would rather watch those again than this. And those were also awful. So there's no
They're
nudity
awful,
in
but
this
those are
thing.
sort of
I mean,
more fun awful, I guess. I don't know.
no,
I
they're bad. I mean, they're pretty bad. And the this is directed by a woman, so I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but or at least the name appears to be female.
Oh, it was the
That
girl
there's
who was in the movie.
huh?
She was in the movie, the director.
Which one? Which one is she?
She was one of the vampires. She was not the black girl, you know. She was not the like the one with like the glasses or whatever, you know. She wasn't that one. She wasn't the blonde. So she was like the other one of the brunette girls who sort of she kind of gave herself like one of the worst characters in a way because she sort of doesn't really do anything but kind of tell people what to do, like a director, I guess, what do.
You talking about like the I guess that she would kind of be like the familiar of
Yeah,
them. Like she takes care of the house. The older woman.
I don't think she's older.
I think she's older.
I don't think if it's the one I'm thinking of.
I don't think she's their age.
I don't know. I thought she was the younger one, but it's
No, you have the leader who's like the black chick, and then you
right.
have the blonde behind you,
Mm-hmm.
and then you
I
have
like her.
the brunette, and those are the three vampires, and
The
then you have
brunette.
the huh
The brunette.
the third vampire.
Yeah.
That's the director.
And then the familiar was Danny Thompson, then the other girl.
I have no idea what their names are. I don't care.
Well,
Um, I'll, I'll,
I know
I'll,
Danny, so you know.
I'm sorry. So this is I mean I can't blame I guess I don't know. This was just dreadful. It the lack of nudity was amazing, and we did get a butt and
We got
boob
one.
shot once.
And we got a
Oh,
butt. Yeah, we got a butt, and we got a boob
and,
shot.
yeah, I mean, who cares? And then the blonde that you have pictured there, who's gorgeous, is wearing these like really kind of slinky things without a bra, and we didn't get to see anything there. And it's just this film was boring as fuck. Nothing happens. Nothing. And I
It's
didn't want to
sad,
message
but they
you.
kind of what?
I didn't want to message you. You know, I was either just going to stop it or I was going to scan through it. And instead, I kept falling asleep. I mean, maybe this is my demonic. Um, and
Yeah.
and and so I stopped it and watched the rest of it at work. You know, on my lunch, and it still went on for like 3 hours. It's the film doesn't make any sense. It's just. I hated this movie. If I had to make a list of 100 of the worst films I've ever seen, this would be on it.
And I ain't saying that because like, look, I get it. Making a movie is tough. You know, it's tough work. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
Making movies are
getting something
hard.
that is fucking makes a hour and a half movie, you know, and finish it and shit, like good for you. Like that,
No,
as independent filmmaker. No,
no.
I'm sorry. I will always say that about every single movie. That doesn't mean I'm going to say that the movie's good. I'm just saying that to finish an hour and a half movie, not make an hour movie that is basically people just walking and talking like we've seen, certain filmmakers do, which is not a real movie. It's just kind of, let's just go out there and fucking shoot a goddamn movie that's boring as fuck. This was a little boring. It
A
was
little,
it was very boring. But my big problem with it was the same thing that you had, which was that nothing happens. People go to like this is the movie. People are at a bar. The singer invites a bunch of random strangers back to an after party. They go to the after party. One girl, I don't even know why she was there or whatever. She did not
they
even
all do nothing.
posh. She didn't even seem like she was excited to be there. The old guy, Ebenezer or whatever, what the fuck, Anyway, like, so they go there. They're kind of, some of them are arrogant, some of them are drunk, some of them are like, they all have all these different things going on. And then they find out that and most of that is just them talking at the house. Nothing
But
exciting.
let's back up for a second. So they're at this bar. And the music I actually liked. I thought that was the only good thing in this. They got a lot of rockabilly. I kind of like the first song that was on. I like the soundtrack. So if there's a soundtrack, I would download the soundtrack.
Right.
But they're at this bar. I don't know if they're like this huge act. Like
Right.
they're supposed to be the Spice Girls or Bananarama because there's only 3 of them. And there's no instruments, so I'm guessing everything is being played over loudspeakers, and they're mouthing it or just recording or just singing to it. And the crowd is 10 people at most. Who gives a shit if they go back to the house? That this is a once in a lifetime thing. There's 10 people there. Like, so like you're not some band, and then they go, oh well, there's these balloons that are going to drop. And inside is an invite. We don't see any balloons drop. Instead, they show a guy holding 1 balloon and 2 balloons on the ground, and magically everybody has an invite. And it's like, what? And then she's got the big snake wrapped around her, and then the snake is gone. Like nobody comes and takes it. It's just magically gone.
Maybe that's
like, this is
magic.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, this is British, and I do like British humor. I'm a big Python fan and Young Ones and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not getting it. Is this meant to be funny? Am I supposed to be laughing at the bartender who keeps destroying his inventory to impress 2 girls that he's not going to get together with anyways?
Yeah, or doesn't even try to get with them at all or anything. Like, and it was so weird because like I was like, is he trying to be like Tom Cruise in Cocktail? Is that a joke? Like, is he like, and then he just keeps dropping them? Maybe that was a joke, maybe. But I honestly,
Maybe.
it wasn't funny. That was the problem.
No. And I'll agree a little bit with you. I'll give people credit who actually finish a film. Sure, why not? And the sound wasn't bad. I mean, I think that the music was a little too loud.
The music kind of drowned out some of what they were saying.
Yeah, which is my issue.
Tubi, I have, they have closed captioning, so I could catch every single like thing that they were saying, because
that's what I did.
It sounds terrible, but they're British, and sometimes they say things a little too fast, and stuff.
And it depends on where they're from too. I mean, some of the accents are pretty good. Like, you understand John Cleese, right. But there's areas in the UK where you cannot understand anything these people are saying, which is the problem that I had with like a Dinosaur Hotel. Is just like these accents are so thick.
And for DVDs, sadly, you don't get closed captioning much for a lot of DVDs.
Not on this stuff because it's ITN and they never do, closed captioning, which really sucks. But I mean, shit, my Maximus stuff has closed captioning. but it's I didn't get I just didn't get it. Like nobody really seemed excited to go to this house. They're just kind of standing there, and then they take the limo, and then they have to walk to the house, and then the one guy either knocks out or kills the computer geek and takes his place for reasons unknown. Like, did he kill the guy? Did he just knock him out? What did he do? I don't even know why he's there. I thought maybe he was like a cop or something, like
Did you watch all the
investigating.
way past the credits, all the way to the end?
I went as far as Tubi would let me.
Well, you can get out of it when they make you go to another movie, but
Why does he show up?
he's like, it has him in a trunk or something, and then it says to be continued.
Oh
So
God, I hope not.
there was a guy on Letterbox, that guy that said the bad shit about my movie or whatever, Steve Milan. He actually wrote on a Letterbox that there's gonna be a that there's gonna be a sequel or whatever that nobody wants or something like that. Like you know,
I hope not, or maybe they learn from this. I mean, it's just not explained why this guy traded places,
the
and
direct
then
the director, the woman director, she directed a movie that Paul and I watched for Quick Review Thursday called Pumpkins. And it was something that he got from the Dollar Tree, and we watched it and we were just like, this is bad. And it wasn't like the director, I think that they tried, like it wasn't like they're trying to make a shitty movie on purpose or anything, you know. They just it just a lot of what they do just doesn't make any sense. Now, you can chalk up a lot of stuff to like maybe on the set something happens and then they can't, they have to change things last minute, something like that. But you can't do that for a whole movie. You can't say that for a whole movie. You know what I mean? Like if one thing doesn't make sense, that's but if like everything doesn't make sense, then
well, it seems like they probably had the bar for a day, and then they shot the stuff at the bar, and then when they were then on a different day they went out and shot anything that was outside, and then the rest of the film was inside, and I just I don't I almost turned it off, almost, when that woman who we think is like a familiar goes, I think it was her, or maybe it was the brunette, who goes, dinner will be in an hour. What? Dinner will be in an hour? What? Dinner should be in 5 minutes. Why are we having to wait an hour? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there was nothing to do to begin with. There was, if this is supposed to be like a popular band or an upcoming band that's big, take them back to the house. Where's the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll, where is all this? Why aren't we seeing that?
With
Huh?
vampires. It's like the problem with these days, and I'm going to say this, like the problem these days is that a lot of people don't want to do nudity. Like a lot of girls don't want to do nudity. A lot of filmmakers don't want to do nudity. A lot of people don't want to do nudity because a lot of it gets censored on digital these days anyway. With a lot of streaming sites, maybe not Tubi, but a lot of streaming sites will actually cut out nudity out of your film, because they want, somebody like some kids to be able to watch it, or whatever. Even though it's a rated R film, shouldn't have that. There's a lot of censorship happening with digital. That's a big discussion for another whole
Oh
episode.
yeah, because Disney just edited the French Connection.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hate on that. And Disney
It's a
doesn't like
classic movie.
Disney doesn't like hate, so they're I don't know what they're gonna do. Hopefully they'll fix it. But all their sites, all their streaming things, have the edited version and everything. So but anyway, the point is there's a lot of censorship going on, including nudity, you know, and so filmmakers just are going to cut that out now, and this had nudity, a little bit, but a little bit, but like it should have had more. It should have had more. At
If it's
least
gonna
sex.
be this boring, give me nudity. Give me something to look at other than the blonde there who's not wearing a bra with a slinky dress. We're seeing her nipples. And it's like I'm just waiting for that like gown or dress, whatever she's wearing, to fall off. So we could see
Yeah, she
something
was
because
gonna
I'm
do, but
bored.
yeah, there was
I
just
mean, literally nothing happens.
and
They
even
they
when something happens, nothing happens. Like
Nothing
I,
happens.
the guy that was Axel, the one
He
she
was the only one that I kind of liked.
he was the only, and he's the one that dies, of course, because
Yeah.
uh I don't know why they fucking killed him. Maybe he didn't have enough time as much as everyone else.
I
So
mean, I like that he kind of put on the dress and was just sitting on the bed, and
yeah,
and then the blonde vampire there is like, well, that's my dress. I want to wear that dress, but yet she never wears the dress. Why do they all have to be in separate rooms? Why is this
why
such a
aren't they
big deal?
freaking out when they're eating a fucking severed head? Like, like they bring a severed head to the fucking dinner table. Why didn't everybody's just kind of staring at this head? And I'm like, get the fuck up and run. They just brought a fucking severed
Yeah,
head
they're just like,
dinner
I gotta go
table.
to the bathroom, and then they kind of get up and leave because that was that was the bald headed guy from the bar,
Right.
and the head looked pretty good, but I thought the fangs looked good, and the
All the
girls were good
special effects
looking, and
were okay, like and
yeah,
the creature at the end of the movie, that was a pretty cool looking creature thing.
what the hell was that creature?
I
Where
don't
did it come
know.
from?
And
What
we're
was
yeah,
its
we're
point?
yeah, and then like I guess they turned the girl and then they turned all of them into vampires. And I'm like, it's just it just kind of it, you're right, it's just boring. And when a movie is just boring, like it has so many chances to be cool, you know? Like go with it. Just
Well,
have
yeah,
this idea, you know?
there's like, okay, so I get them performing at the beginning. I like that first song
Yeah.
actually. And so we're establishing that they're this known rock band, or whatever you want to call them. But yet nothing's ever done with
I
it.
did say it sounded a little like the safety dance though. Like if dance if you want to, your friends leave your friends behind. I was
I
listening to it and I was like, it's like a what is it, techno version of the
or I would probably say that would be the second song that they did. Sounded the one that was used at the ending credits. The
yeah.
first song I thought sounded more like, and I think that they were trying to do like in The Hunger with Bauhaus singing Bela Lugosi's Dead.
Oh no
And
no. Yeah, I was thinking the other one, the one that said like motivation, inspirational dance or something. That
yeah,
was
that's the second song. Yeah.
so the first
The first song was more Bela Lugosi's Dead, and I think they were just trying to mimic that. And nobody's going to do it better than Howling 2 when Babel is up there singing, and which was the perfect ripoff of The Hunger. Nobody's going to do it better. And it's nothing is established. Why do they all have to stay in their rooms? Why is this a big deal? Why there's
what is
there's
going
no
on? You
but
know,
there's why not have them playing pool? Why not have them doing something? Do
out
something.
pool, going out to a pool, like an outdoor pool, and things like that. Like, you
the
know,
the main vampire is swimming, and then she goes, I'm gonna go take a bath. You were just swimming.
maybe get wash off that chlorine,
In a bath? That you
Well,
take a
probably
shower, you don't take a bath.
shower. But baths sound cool because you could, if you see the bath or what. We don't see the bath. I don't think. I don't remember seeing the bath. I don't remember.
It almost seems like they're like, shit, we need an extra scene, and we already got her to show her boobs, so maybe we could get her to be naked and show her butt, and then we'll just do some dialogue, and now we have an extra scene
Yeah.
because they know that the next scene is her in the bathtub. So it's like, fuck, we need something in between, but then it's going to look weird. So she better say, oh, now I have to go take a bath.
Right.
and with that size of swimming pool, because you know, it even has that donut in there, that flotation thing, that's probably at some gym or a school or something, so they would have showers.
Right.
I don't understand the creature. I don't get that it's in this big vat of goo, and then which we constantly see, and then it starts dragging itself out, and then it attacks the one guy, and then they come back with their eyes all blackened and everything, and there's some weird portal in the floor, which I would normally be into, but
It just
no,
makes sense. Yeah.
it just doesn't. And then I'm like, well, they should explain these things. I'm like, oh no, no, don't do that. Then the film's going to be longer.
Right.
Just leave it as is.
They should have cut some stuff out, maybe.
Well, there's that whole dance that the main vampire does around all the people, and she focuses on the woman because I guess like she's
Yeah.
more of like a lesbian vampire, which is
She was
fine.
like, and that girl was lesbian too, I guess. You know, it was a lesbian girl, Tosh.
She wasn't into it though.
She
She was
wasn't into it then.
all kind of weird.
Later, she's into it with her, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's and they did it to the whole song. Like, okay, I get when you're on set, just play the song and just let her dance, and then we'll cut it at some point. But it's like, no,
And
they
then
just let it go.
the one guy looks over and is like, the black guy's like, that was weird. And I'm like, what was weird? I mean, she was just fucking dancing, you know? Like I rewound. I was like, wait, did I miss something? So I rewound it. I go, nope, nope, didn't miss anything. Like the chicks is just dancing around. You know, that was not weird. What you know,
I think that was his thing throughout the whole movie. It was everything was weird.
I mean,
That's why I'm not getting it. Like maybe I'm not getting the British humor on
I
this.
also did not like that the names are like Axel and Ripley and stuff. You know what? I've looked up badass male names and stuff like that, or badass names on Google. Those are what come up. Axel Ripley. So that's I think that's what they did is the writers, which is the main that girl, the brunette girl that one of the vampire girls who's the director. And I think I'm gonna say it's her brother, you know, because I thought it was her husband. It was like the same last name, but like different first name, obviously, whatever. And I was like, wait, is that her brother? But then I realized she was in a relationship with somebody else. So unless she's gotten divorced with this other guy, I think
Wow,
that's
you found out a lot more information than I did.
I
I
did.
couldn't even find a
I
review for the
dived into
movie.
and I've added these people. So if they see this thing, they're gonna be like, oh shit. You didn't, but you know, I'm being honest and I'm not criticizing. That's why I want to make sure people understand. I'm very proud of anyone who goes out and fucking makes a movie. Like, period. And I'm not gonna count people like BC14 who goes out and makes a movie, an animated movie during COVID with what is it? The goddamn the shark, the megalodon versus Krampus kind of shit. No,
Oh yeah, that guy.
that stuff's just terrible, and the dialogue is terrible. This dialogue wasn't great, but I feel like they tried really hard, you know, and but we just didn't.
I don't know about that because nothing is explained. Nothing. It's like they had a like 120 page script, and they just pulled out like 25 pages
Right.
and said, oh, okay, this is what it's going to be. Because I, as much as I enjoy the lighting that's in this, like that type of lighting, you know, one room is red, one room is blue, one room is green. I mean, I did that for both Maximus films, and I'll probably do it again. But it's like it was overdone a little bit. That like it doesn't, not everything has to have a color. It's like you're focusing more on the color than you are the audience being entertained. It's just not. I just couldn't. I mean, I mentioned this to you when I watched the when I saw the trailer, which I thought looked a lot better than what I watched. That this reminded me of that Night Teeth that we watched, which I think was Netflix, and
I
that
was
was
thinking of that when I was watching it, and I was like, this is nothing like 19.
no. except for like female vampires. But that was like oh, you got your doggy there.
Yeah, he's I think he heard something, so
Oh, okay. He's welcome. All animals are welcome.
all animals
Um,
always welcome on any indie film cafe show.
that's right.
All right.
Um, it's just I don't get it. I mean, it's like I wasn't bored during the dinosaur hotel stuff, and that was only maybe 75 minutes each
Right.
one. So it's like, oh, good, it's 75 minutes. So when
Yeah,
it
and
hit
you
like,
got them on DVD, so it's not like Tubi where there's fucking commercials and shit that
oh my god, like
you know,
one of six, it's
one
like,
of six
oh
and one of
shit.
four, then one of six again, and one of whatever, and it's sort of annoying. I've heard it's going to get worse. They are trying so hard to get you to buy the to do it like everybody else is, or not like everybody. Most people don't actually subscribe, but they're trying to get people to. So I think you can actually pay to get rid of the ads, or whatever, So, but
And that's fine. Just give people the option. I mean, I'll just stick with the commercials because that's, I'm like, I'll go pee or grab a drink during the commercials, but they're still long, which I
yeah,
guess is fine. I mean, we need them, but this really felt like it was 10 hours long. I mean, it's
yeah,
ugh.
I agree. I agree. Well, I think that's about it. I mean, I don't think there's really much more else we can talk about. It sadly was a movie that didn't really have, even though it was an hour and 33 minutes or whatever, nothing happened. There's not much to say, you know what I mean? We've already pretty much covered everything that actually happened. Everything else would literally
Well,
talk about like nothing.
well, did you see what I mentioned that the dinner table has the music from Red Letter Media?
I did not notice that. No.
So go back and watch Red Letter Media when they're doing Half in the Bag,
Mhm.
and when they always show like the outside of the house or the outside of the video store, there's that piano music.
Okay.
And I guess maybe it's public domain.
It's
So
probably public domain.
yeah, and they just kept using it over and over and over again in the film. And that made me laugh because I'm just like, do you guys not realize this is like on Red Letter Media? Like, and as a
Maybe
joke.
Red Letter Media should cover this. You know, I don't think they would though. Just because it's not uh like it's just sort of a little bit too boring. It's like Mr. Science Theater 3000 doesn't like to do movies that they just sort of are bored by. They like to do ones that are kind of a little bit more exciting. And this had the opportunity to go crazy, you know, but it really didn't. They were just very laid back about it, and stuff like they just nothing.
Like they're laid back. I mean, that's exciting. They were in a coma.
No,
I mean, just everybody sitting in chairs constantly. I mean, just and I don't think it was horribly acted, and I don't think it was horribly directed. And
no,
probably on paper, the script looked good. But God, uh
just give us something interesting to happen. Because even by the end of it, like that creature comes out, they don't know, whatever. So they all decide to become vampire. They all fight the other people, make them become vampires, and then what happens? Like
and
I don't.
and their fight scene was so boring at the end when they're fighting the creature and its people, and then the vampires and the new vampires. The fight is so dull.
Hmm.
Like you just see the blonde like teeth, or you see somebody's eyes. Like you're not actually seeing a fight. And I mean, all you got to do is push each other around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Just push each other around, grab each other, kind of just make each other move a little bit, push each other. It's not that hard. And then you just film it for for a minute or
Mhm.
two, and then you can just cut between different stuff. I didn't even understand the fight.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Well, I am sorry I made you watch this. It was not. I don't know, and that's gonna happen a lot. That happens a lot when I did it for first time watch Fridays, period, by myself, I would pick things and I would be like, I have no idea if this is any good. This could suck, and
Yeah, but you hit gold with, what was that, Demon of the Soul?
yeah, Soul of the Demon, yeah.
Soul of the
That
Demon,
was,
yeah.
yeah, I didn't even see that all the way through, so I have no idea. So, and then it was fantastic. So, but I even didn't think you'd like it. I don't know why, but I didn't think you would. So,
Once they hit that house, man, and you could tell that the director was an Evil Dead fan, I was all on board.
yep.
And this is this is the thing that these things need to realize, including like this film, is there's 1,000 other vampire movies out there. Just take from it. Just
Right.
what do the Lost Boys do? What do some of these modern ones do? They're not boring. Even bad
Twilight might be a
vampire
little boring.
films aren't boring.
Twilight might be a little boring to some people.
Which one?
Twilight.
Oh God, I wouldn't take anything for Twilight.
Right, but what I'm saying is maybe they did.
I
I don't.
mean, I I mean, I've sat through all of them. I did like a big marathon one day, and I never found them boring until they started making two of them. And
Right.
then it's just like, oh, okay, now we're just gonna pad out the books. They're not like this thick.
We just need to
So
make more money. You know.
yeah, yeah, that's what I want to see is our two main characters playing chess because they can't have sex because they'll rip her in half. You know,
All right. Well, thank you, John. Sorry I picked this, but you know what? I'm not sorry. We gotta let people know that it's one of those movies
the
out there.
trailer was good. I like the trailer. That's what made me want
That's
to
what
watch it.
probably will get people to want to watch it, and then fortunately they might be disappointed. So we got to
Like
get the
everybody
word out
was.
there a little bit about it. But maybe people will watch it. Maybe some people will like it. Who knows? I don't know. So far all the reviews have not been very, very nice. I've not seen it. I have not seen a nice one yet. Actually, no, that is a lie. That is a lie. The first two on IMDb have to be written by like the people who made it, because one was like a 10 and one was like a 7 out of,
Okay.
and I'm like, yeah, like these are ridiculously
I could even find a review for it on YouTube.
I could not
It
either.
kept
Another
Yeah,
review.
it kept bringing up like every movie with night, but it didn't bring this one up.
Yeah.
I
So
found the trailer, but that's it.
the first one says very entertaining, great film. I managed to track down after having it on my want to watch list for ages. I was optimistic going into the film, but was still surprised by how much I actually enjoyed it. Entertaining, well paced. The special effects, puppetry, whatever you want to call it, awesome. That creature thing looked so good. Honestly, I was stunned when it appeared. I think that's where most of the budget went. Worth it. Some fun, super fun. Definitely watch this again. Maybe next Halloween. By the way, 3 votes down on my previous review. You underestimate my power. Now I'm stronger than ever and handing out 10-star ratings. Okay.
Is it verified?
It's from IMDb, so I don't know if they verify. That's not Amazon.
Oh, Amazon does the verified.
Yeah, Amazon's the one that does that. Um, Another person said 7 out of 10, said a generally fun is slightly flawed vampire effort. So I'm not going to read this. This one's huge. So go read it if you want, but it's basically overall this was a pretty fun British flick. I mean, and then all the letterbox, all ones, like 1-star reviews. So I'm wondering if those are sort of people who are sort of part of the cast or crew that
Well, I think that some vampire films now have to be like, what is that? What we do in the shadows?
what we do in the shadows, which is more.
Yeah, and I think that they fail at it. So it's, I've never seen the TV show, but I love the film.
I love the
And
film too. And
yeah, and it just doesn't. It's like people trying to copy like Shaun of the Dead, and it
but
just doesn't work.
the guy from what we do in the shadows was the same one that directed Thor Ragnarok and Thor: Love and Thunder, and
Oh shit, that's right. That is him. Yeah.
yeah, and he also did Jojo Rabbit, which was really good. And but he unfortunately really fucked up with Love and Thunder. So, you know, but yeah, it's really funny because I like look at that going, man, the guy who did that did Love and Thunder? Like that was
Yeah, they're like
awful.
completely opposites. I
Yeah.
mean, two are
Well,
good and everything else is bad.
but that's the thing. That's when Disney hires, somebody who makes something good, and then tells them to do it right for them. Then they tell them like a million things that you can't have, or you know what I mean, or you have to put it, you know what I mean, you have to do for the film. So like, it's whatever. Point is, yeah, this movie is no What We Do in the Shadows. This movie is no none of that. But it's
No.
you know what? So, if that is true, like some people actually like this movie and thought it's kind of fun, then more power to them. Go watch it. We're not here to tell you that that you should never watch a movie. That's never going to be our thing because everybody has a different taste. You won't like something that I like, and I won't like something you like. That's just bottom line.
Except that you're slowly coming over to the things I like. Like now you're kind of getting into the whole zombie thing. And I'm still not getting into the stuff
I'm
you like.
not hating on them. I'm just like, and I never really did hate on them. It just wasn't my cup of tea, or whatever.
Cup of
But
virus,
yeah,
cup of zombie virus.
it wasn't my cup of zombie virus. But I I respect the horror genre, absolutely 100%. And big part of the zombie or of the horror genre is zombies. And that's mainly because a lot of times it's just people going grr grr, that's it. You put some makeup on somebody and then make them say grr grr and you got a zombie, you know. I mean, go right ahead. But that's the problem is everybody thinks they can make a zombie movie and there's only
What
so
are you saying? I just made a zombie movie.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, and Paul watched it 2 days later. I sent it to him and he watched it in 2 days. And you're my friend and you haven't watched it at all.
Man, fuck, dude. All right, I'll watch it tonight. I'll watch it tonight. I swear.
It's 22
I
minutes.
know. That's why I'm gonna be able to watch it tonight.
Actually, maybe don't because Joe and I are doing some re-editing tomorrow. So
Oh, so you'll be able to send me a new cut.
yeah, I'll probably delete the one that's up there tomorrow and then upload the new one. So it just has a couple different things in
Okay.
it, but
Well, just send me the new link whenever you're ready, and I'll watch that this week.
yeah, just like watch it over the weekend or something. It's 22
Yeah.
minit's, so
I,
it's
I have time.
but it's for people to know what we're talking about. It's a short film that I made called Flesh Attack. It's a zombie film. It's 22 minutes. That's going to be part of the Zombie Rage anthology, and I'm pretty happy with it. So it's I think it's pretty good for last minute. So but and I would still rather watch the worst zombie movie over this film. So
I don't know, man. Whew. There's been some rough zombie movies I've seen. That's another
there
reason
are
I like them because there are some really terrible ones that just are boring, and stuff. So whatever. I mean, I'm glad I watched this movie. I can say I've seen it. Saw the whole thing,
I'm
all the way to the end, all the way to the thing. So I can say I've seen it. Um, if somebody asked, "You want to watch Bite Night?" I'll say, "Nah, no, let's watch something else." Um, Sadly, but that doesn't mean I'm going to tell people don't watch it. Go watch it. Go check it out for yourself. If you don't like it, you can always turn it off. We didn't have that luxury of turning shit off. Well, you almost did. You almost told me let's watch something else or something like that. Let's do something else.
yeah, I just can't. Or I was just gonna stop it and then I could just review it up to the point that I stopped it.
I wouldn't have liked that just because I would have been like, no, gotta do it, gotta do the whole thing, man. And you did. You suffered through it. You finished it. So that's all that matters, right?
I just, yeah, I mean, I just wish that it was better because I don't think it's horribly directed. I don't think it's horribly edited. I don't think it's horribly acted or written or anything. It just does the cardinal sin of being boring.
Yeah.
Just, and it's all there. I mean, like, I don't mind the lighting and I like the music, and the women are really good looking, and some couple of the guys are kind of funny, especially the Axel guy.
I like
And
the
it
uh
just,
the big tall long hair guy kind of got on my nerves after a little bit, just because he was just his character was supposed to be like drunk the whole time, and it just kind of got on my nerves, or whatever. Like it just wasn't. It was supposed to be funny, I guess, and it just didn't make me laugh. But the
yeah.
Axel was like my favorite character, and then the fat guy, I liked him a lot too. The guy is just
Well, like, okay, so as an example, was this meant to be funny? So you have the black guy and the fat guy. They're walking down the stairs, this like midway through, and they have the white sheet over their heads, like they're hiding.
right.
And the black guy goes, I think I feel a lot safer without the sheet over my head. And like the fat guy's like, oh well, yeah, maybe. And I'm like, is that funny? Is that supposed to be funny? Like, we see them walk down the stairs and the audience is just supposed to oh my god, that's hilarious.
I think so. I think so. You know why? Because like there's another scene where Tosh comes in and says, "I will stake you," right?
Didn't
And
get it.
then so she goes, "I will stake you," and then they kind of like she sees Axel dead, and then she's like, "Sorry, wrong room," and she walks out, and the blonde girl looks over and goes, I don't want any steaks tonight," you know, and I was like,
Yeah.
uh, "Oh,
No. Because what was she coming in that room to stake them?
I guess."
Or was it an accident? Or
I think the
and then
whole idea was she was going to go and stake them real till she saw the guy was dead, right? Axel was dead. Then she was like, I don't want to die, so never mind. So she says, oh, sorry, wrong room or something like that, and runs out. It was supposed to be funny, but unfortunately, the thing with comedy is tough. You know, comedy is tougher than like horror.
to quote Steve Martin, comedy is not pretty.
Right. And the thing with comedy is that when something is funny, like you set up a joke, right? And then you're supposed to knock it out of the park and everything. If you kind of screw up in some way shooting the comedy, it's not funny, and everything. So they tried, it seemed, to make it funny. It just didn't work because it just wasn't funny. I
But
don't know.
that's why, what is it, because it's British humor and that it's dry and kind of droll, and it's
Maybe
it's not fart humor like Americans do. It's
it's
more
funny. Maybe it is.
subtle.
Maybe that's the case. I remember talking to Dustin Hubbard once about Seb Godin's movies and that he makes in Canada. Canada has a different sense of humor. So some of the stuff I didn't laugh at necessarily in his movies, Dustin would inform me that that was supposed to be funny, and I go, "Oh, I didn't get it because it's not my humor." So I think that's the case with this film. Like maybe some of this stuff is, but then I watch like stuff like Spaced or Father Ted or, um, what is it? Your, or even Black Books or stuff you were saying like Faulty
Well,
Towers,
just the classic stuff. Yeah, Monty Python, Faulty
Python, Faulty
Towers.
Towers. Those are so funny, and I get the humor in it, and it's not dry humor. It's very funny, but I guess it's more American humor. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's more American. I know Spaced is more American humor. I
I
mean,
mean, I don't think that Python ever figured that they would be a hit in America, and they were, and
Oh,
When they ended, they actually said that Saturday Night Live was the continuation of Monty Python. That's why some of them appeared on Saturday Night Live. So
and
obviously
Saturday Night Live,
somebody got it and continued with it,
right? And
but
some,
this
I mean,
just
some of the
didn't.
old Saturday Night Live does feel very Monty Python. Nowadays, it does not.
No,
But
no,
a lot of that's
no.
because of all nothing but political nonsense.
It all depends on. That's why I couldn't understand. Like, is this funny or not? Like, Shaun of the Dead is very funny, but it's still serious at the same time. They got a plan. They have to get from A to B to C, and we go through the plan in their heads, and it could be very funny, and then it gets really bloody at the end, and everybody loves Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead is more American humor than I think British humor. No, I sort of take that back. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I don't get, from what they say in Shaun of the Dead. There's a couple of scenes like where I'm just like, oh, and I didn't get it because I'm not there. I don't live in England. So maybe some of the stuff, I don't know. I think that
Well, yeah, it's like Kick-Ass
mhm,
with Hit Girl.
yeah,
The film was shot overseas, so that's why Hit Girl, who's this, what, at the time, 13 or something, 14, that's
Chloe,
why she uses the word cunt, and
right.
Americans were offended by that. No, that's just slang in like the UK. It doesn't mean the same thing over there, and everybody over here is like, oh my god, this underage girl is using the C word. Over there it means something else. It's like fuck off, type of thing.
I was at a restaurant once with some friends, and we're all going around the table saying what is like the worst word, like worst cuss word anybody can say. So people are saying F word, some people are saying the P word. I think you know what that is, whatever. All these different things. I said they got to me and I go, cunt, you know, and everybody looked at me and goes, yep, yep, that nobody wants to say it. Nobody ever in America really wants to say that word. I even
No,
think it's dirty
the
just
N
say
word
it.
and the C word are two words that nobody should ever say to anybody, I don't think.
Yeah,
But in the UK, the C word means something different. So that's all.
right. They don't say the N word, thank God, over there, really,
No.
unless and but yeah, it this movie honestly was not the greatest, but they had an idea, they went out, they executed it. It just fell flat. And once again, I think it could be the British humor that we don't get. Maybe it was supposed to be funnier than it was. I just I didn't understand a lot of the stuff that happened. But you know what?
Uh,
Go draw your own conclusions, people. Go see it if you want. Watch on Tubi. But know that like unlike us, you're allowed to just leave the movie. Unlike us, we have to suffer through it. We suffer through it, so you don't have to. So like that feels like that's a red letter media. Just they had to watch these movies so no one else has to. You know, I
I
don't
think
know,
if
even
if they
represent.
had if they had to watch this, which I don't think they would, because it has to be physical. They watch physical media, but if there was physical media and they did one of those, the rule, the roulette wheel or whatever, and it landed on it, I have a feeling they would turn it off,
It would turn
because
out.
yeah, it's just too boring. I think that you would see them pick the three movies. This would be one of them, and then it would cut to them at the table talking, and you would see this movie like flat, and there'd be like another movie in it in the
Yeah,
slot, and they'd be like, yeah, this is too boring, so we decided to pick this instead.
right. Sadly, that would probably be the case. But look, I'm gonna tell the director right now, keep making movies. Keep making them. You know, practice makes perfect, and maybe your next movie, just like Ed Wood says in the movie Ed Wood, or Johnny Depp says in the movie Ed Wood, maybe my next one will be better. I mean, you never know. you know.
And it was better.
Yeah, his next one was Plan 9 from Outer Space, wasn't it? Or was it
No, well,
Bride-
if you're going just off the movie, it would have
yeah,
been
so it's
Bride of the
Bride of the
Monster.
which I think is one of my favorites of his
Yeah,
films.
if you're going in real life, no, he had many movies in between, but yeah, it would have gone Glen or
Yeah,
Glenda,
what a
Bride of the Monster, then
jailbait.
Plan 9.
No jailbait, then Bride of the Month.
Yeah, then you also got like the Night of the Ghouls and all that type of
No,
stuff.
it was after Plan 9. Anyway, point is that yeah, so if you keep making movies because that's the only way you completely learn. And I'm not look, she's made 2 feature films as far as we saw that one Pumpkins movie and we see this. I think she's maybe even more. Go keep doing it, man, because even Robert Rodriguez says you have like 150 bad movies in you. The more you get them out, the better, so just keep making movies and having fun and enjoying yourself and putting them out there, man. Because like some people may love the style and love this shit. Some people may not, like us. It wasn't our cup of British tea. Just say that.
No, it was not. It was not tea time for me at all.
No, but go ahead. I will say this. I will say this. I did enjoy it a little bit more than Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That's all I'm gonna say.
I may never know that. So
Hopefully you never will.
I've just heard way too many bad things.
I know. Hopefully you never will. But
Great title, but yeah, I'll
it
live.
should have been better. And those guys are gonna do Peter Pan next, apparently.
Awesome. Still probably be better than Peter Pan and Wendy.
Probably. All right, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. That means watch it if you feel like it. If you don't feel like it, don't watch it. Whatever. That's your choice.
That's what makes America great. America.
And Britain, you can have that choice too, in England. So there you go. Everywhere.
I guess.
All right, everybody. Hope you have a good one. Bye.